unique things to do in Knoxville, stuff you can't do in every city, and stuff I thought you should know about. And also just want to say shout out to DW Designs. I'm wearing this shirt for the sake of this video and also because it's cold in my house at the time of making this video. So there you go, Knoxville. This is only Knoxville. I didn't go outside of Knoxville because we know there's billions and millions and millions and millions of things to do. So we're looking only in Knoxville, things to do. I did not include seasonal things. For example, Neyland Stadium. I did not include ice bears. I did not include things that only happen at certain parts of the year. Although you could go see Neyland Stadium. You know what I'm saying. This is stuff that exists all the time. Okay? All right. Let's dive in and let's get going. All right, number one, this is a basic one. It's probably the most basic one. Can you guess what I'm about to say? The Sun Sphere? Yes, good job. The Sun Sphere. So the Sun Sphere is the hallmark of the 1982 World's Fair, and it is a one-of-a-kind structure. And I've actually been to the Sun Sphere multiple times. I used to work at L&N STEM Academy. I used to teach there, which is downtown on World's Fair Park, and we actually took our students there. I never went as a kid, and I don't even know that as a kid it was available to see. I could be completely wrong, but I think it being a museum and you could go up there is a newer thing. I've been to several events there. It's so cool. I love a good view. So to me, it's awesome. I love it. You gotta go. And it's relatively cheap. So $5 for adults. Kids 12 and under are $1. So, I mean, come on now. Easy. And I don't think it's that crazy if you are afraid of heights. But I'm not afraid of heights, so I can't speak to that. But my husband, I think, has been in there, and he is supposedly afraid of heights. But I've yet to see this. Anyways, whatever. We went to New York and we went to the Sears Tower or whatever it is. I sound like an idiot. You know what I'm saying. We went there and he was fine. We went to the highest part you could go to. Anyways, it's World's Fair. Don't worry about it if you're afraid of heights. That is my opinion. Do not hold me liable. All right. Number 2 is Ijams Nature Center. Specifically, super unique things about Ijams Nature Center. Well, Ijams Nature Center in general is a very cool and interesting place. Pretty much every first grade classroom that I know of all time went to Ijams Nature Center, probably first or second grade. So it's a museum, but also now it's expanded as a part of the Knoxville Urban Wilderness. There's all kinds of cool stuff, and it's a cool place to go. There's events, there's all kinds of stuff. But 2 places that are super unique are, number 1, there is what's called a primal playground. Now you got to look for this a little bit. You got to follow the signs, but you're going to go you're going to go to the quarry, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And you're going to walk back in there, and there are different workout activities. So it is basically an outside workout. I've done it before. Shout out to my friend Mandy. We used to have a podcast called Jonesercise, and we did an episode about the primal playground. So cool, so fun. We went the only thing is when we did it, it was during the cicada season, and the cicadas were wild and crazy, and they were jumping all over the place, and they're kind of disgusting. But essentially, Primal Playground is a workout space for everyone. People who exercise in nature do so at a higher intensity level and are better stewards of the environment. Ijams created the Primal Playground to give people of all fitness levels an opportunity to exercise in nature using natural equipment and challenge themselves in unique ways. So think boulder flipping. Think you can step up and climb up and pick up stones. There's one where you pick up stones and you flip them over. So make sure you don't hit your partner. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of fun. It's pretty fun. That would maybe probably be a kid's thing. I guess you could do kids. Anyways, that is free. And then the other thing about Ijams, and when I say Ijams, it looks like Ijams. It's Ijams. The other thing is Meads Quarry. So the Meads Quarry Lake is just that. It is a lake. You can swim there at certain times of the year, and then also you could rent paddle boards and tubes, canoes, and kayaks. And River Sports Outfitters is the person that, or the entity that does that. And that is not year round. That is certain times of the year. And then for boats, $14. For tubes, it's $5. So that's pretty cheap. I mean, that could be a like cool weekend, thing in the summertime. Great thing to do. So meets Corey at Ijams. Okay, number 3 is the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame opened in June of 1999 in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is a 35,000 square foot facility. It's the only facility of its kind dedicated to all levels of women's basketball. Isn't that cool? So it says, in addition to preserving the history of the game, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is also the perfect location for special events, proms, weddings, receptions, corporate meetings, birthday parties, reunions, blah, blah, blah. So whether you're looking for inspiration, education, or just plain fun, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is the place to find it. Now, I have actually never been there, so I'm going to put this on a list right now of something that Shay and I need to go check out. So it's also pretty, actually, when I say pretty affordable, it's very affordable. Adults are $8, 62 and up, $6, youth 6 to 15, $6, and anybody under 5 is free. So that's an easy one. That could be something inside, kind of cool to do if you're a sports fan, for sure. Go do that. And it's also a cool building because it's like the side of it is a, go look it up online, but the side of it is a basketball net. And then you've got this like basketball. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, number 4 is Lakeshore Park. This is a free park. It's a 185 acre general recreation public park located along the Tennessee River in Knoxville. This is one of my very favorite parks in Knoxville, and it has evolved over the years. As a high schooler, I remember we used to go and sprint up the hills, which there's 2 hills in there that are insane. So if you want to do some hill sprints, actually 3, depending on which way you go, because one of them is like a long up and a steep down short, and then there is a long, windy, whatever. Anyways, if you want to do hill sprints, that is the place to go. But they have since that time added, back in the day, it was scary at night. They've done a ton, needless to say. So when you go there now, you're like, wow, this is swanky. Now, currently, at the current moment, the time of this making of this video, it is December 2023, and they are doing quite a bit of updating and construction. So I do want to say that. If you go in January of 2024, it may not be quite done, but it is literally amazing. It says that this park has approximately 1 million visitors annually. And it is the most visited public park in Knoxville. And it now has, it's got ball fields, you've got soccer, baseball, there's some, a really nice playground. It's got great public bathrooms, which sometimes at a park can be super questionable. But there's also an open air church, which is really cool. It's not a church, it's like a sanctuary type thing. It's very cool. Very, very cool. If you want to be outdoors, you want to do something for free, take your dog. Also, sometimes you can go see these people racing drones there. It's insane. Watch your face. Okay. Number 5 is another one that is on my list to do. I've not been to this. It's Navitat. I think I'm saying that right. Navitat? I think it's Navitat. So it's very close to Ijams Nature Center, located in South Knoxville. This is the description. Situated on a wooded bluff overlooking the Tennessee River, the Treetop Zipline Adventure Park offers 6 adventure trails ranging from easy to extreme. Each adventure trail consists of 8 to 12 elements, including zip lines, bridges, swings, nets, climbs, and more. Our adventure park is certain to delight first-time trekkers as young as 7 years old and to challenge even the most ardent adventure seeker. So super cool. They have daytime stuff. They've got nighttime, which is if you are actually on the waterfront Ijams Nature Center trail at night, you can see this and it's really cool. So anyway, something definitely to do. This is a bit more expensive in terms of things on this list to do. Adults in the day, 52, at night, 59. So it's a little bit higher at night. And then, so pretty much everybody is 52 in the day. In the evening, adults are 59, youth 10 10 to 1765, and then also children 7 to 965. So that is something, plan ahead. You can do parties and whatnot there, but that's certainly an outdoor activity. Think like ropes course, but a little less ropes coursey. Like, I don't think it's as much I think you could do a hardcore ropes course if you wanted to, but it's also like a zip line situation. So anyways, okay, number 6. This is another one that's kind of obvious, but I want to point it out. Market Square. Now, I was recently talking to it is a new doctor that I have, and she and her husband recently moved here from Chicago, and she's like, everyone was talking about how great Market Square is, and she's like, you know, it's kind of lame. And I was like, well, if you're local, you're like, Market Square is awesome, because back in the day, you did not go down there. There was a Subway, an Arby's, and everything else was closed. So the fact that now it's like the place to go, and restaurants are thriving, there's shops. I mean, it's like so cool to see. To me, Market Square is a great place if you want to like pop into some shops. Maybe you want to have a drink. Maybe you want to have some food. Like, to me, it's a cool place to just hang out. So I would suggest Market Square as a place to go and check out. Number 7 is another park, kind of, is Cherokee Boulevard. Now, this is an actual street right off Kingston Pike, right past the campus, right past downtown. It is a 2.5 mile path with like rocks. So it's, first of all, if you're a runner and you're like, I want something different, it is a path that's running through some of the most beautiful real estate in Knoxville. But also there are parks, and not parks, but there's land where we used to play, for example, frisbee golf in high school. We would go down to Cherokee Boulevard and play frisbee golf. It's all water frontage. There's a couple ballparks. So that is a cool place if you want to get outside. It's free. If you want to, you know, just enjoy the outdoors, see the Tennessee River, Cherokee Boulevard, easy, free, beautiful real estate. If you are a real estate person, you love looking at beautiful houses that could be on HGTV, go to Cherokee Boulevard, walk the 2.5 miles, walk it back, and you'll be like, wow, it's beautiful. Okay, number 8. This is more towards children, but this is a super cool place. It's Muse Knoxville. So it is basically Knoxville's children's museum, and they cater a lot to the little children. They have some exhibits, like just cool stuff. They have some classroom stuff. They've got events. They have a really nice planetarium that is, I mean, really, really nice. So I've actually, back in my STEM days for Knox County, did some stuff with them. They've got some excellent programming. They also have excellent programming for homeschool kiddos. So certainly check that out. You can do memberships there. And it says general admission ages 1 to 64 is $12. And then senior citizens 65 and up have a reduced commission of $6. Military and guests of military personnel with valid ID. Also $6, it looks like. And then it says free unlimited planetarium shows are included with general admission. So you aren't missing out on the planetarium. The planetarium is super cool. And then this is the blurb from Muse Knoxville. Muse Knoxville is a children's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math STEAM museum in Shohali Park. Our programs in the museum, schools across East Tennessee and throughout Knoxville bring STEAM, the arts, health and wellness, and emergent literacy to life in children's minds. So to me, no offense, Muse, this is more of a elementary preschool age situation. The planetarium, I think, is for every age, but I think most programs are younger. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a great destination for middle school kiddos, but they do have some cool, like, they have some places where you can like build stuff and, you know, stuff like that. But I think to me it's smaller for smaller kiddos. Okay, number 9 for my history people is James White Fort. So James White is the founder of Knoxville, and essentially James White Fort is literally in the middle of downtown. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but basically it is. It's a piece of 1786 in the middle of a modern downtown city. This is another one that's relatively inexpensive, $10 admission. Child admission is $5. Seniors, military, AAA, $9. Check the dates because they have dates that are like, check your times because winter and summer have different times. This is also a popular field trip destination. I think I've probably been on like 2 or 3 field trips to James White Fort. So just a little bit of history. James White, the founder of Knoxville, came to the future site of Knoxville in the early 1780s. His service in the Revolutionary War earned him a land grant of 1,000 acres. He built the first permanent structure, his 2-story log cabin, in 1786. 2 years later, he enclosed the log cabin and other structures with a stockade fence for protection from wild animals. White was a friend of the Cherokee Indians in the surrounding area, and White negotiated several Cherokee and white settler treaties. White opened his home in peace and to trade with them. The courtyard at the fort was used as a stable for domesticated animals such as horses, cows, pigs, and sheep, which is against the city of Knoxville code at this time. You can't have those things unless you have a permit. The area that was 1786. It's a different time, you know. The area around the fort was cleared of trees, and vegetable gardens and tobacco crop were grown for food and commerce. James White partitioned part of this land in October 1798. Okay, I'll be down in 1 second. Dinner's ready. In October 1791 to establish the town, which would become Knoxville. So super cool. If you're a history person, check it out. It is cool. They had a cool display, I think, about like dyeing material, basically how to make it blue. Take this white thing, make it blue, use the berries. It was cool. Okay, number 10 is Zoo in Knoxville, which I know is not that unique because a lot of cities have zoos, but the zoo in Knoxville I think is really cool. And that is another one that has come a long way. If I think about it, when I was a kid versus now, completely different, way more established, super cool. My niece and nephew, they love it. My nieces and nephews, I should say that, sorry. They love it. This is, again, one of the higher side ticket items. So adults, $27, and then children, $22. There is it says college student tickets, $21.95. You know, not really that discounted, but it is a discount. Seniors, $21.95. And then actually active military and veterans are free. So that is really cool. Check the hours. They have events all throughout the year, something super cool to do. And here's some cool stuff about the Knoxville Zoo. So the Knoxville Zoo has had a few distinctions not shared by any other zoos. More red pandas have been born in Knoxville than any other zoo in the world. Isn't that cool? Since the birth of Little Diamond, which was an elephant, Knoxville Zoo has gone on to other firsts, including being the first zoo in the world to hatch critically endangered northern spider tortoises. Knoxville was also the first zoo in the world to successfully breed the second generation of captive-born Arakan forest turtles and common spider tortoises, an important contribution in the science of conservation. So the zoo is cool, and to me, I think that is an activity for all ages. Also, it's nice because you're walking around, you're seeing the animals, and there's actually, it's got some cool exhibits. So I would suggest, obviously, the Knoxville Museum. Now, last, certainly not least, but I did save it for the end because it is very unique. And I already know people go to this place as a once a week family event. Can you guess what it is? McKay's. McKay's is a used bookstore, which sounds probably boring and lame. But this is the place where you go to get lost for hours. At this point, they have not only books, they've got CDs, they have collector, like those Funko Pop. They have everything collector, everything video game. They've got albums, they've got CDs, they've got VHS, they've got everything. Also, if you want to get rid of your books, you can take your books there, and if they think they can sell them, you can get McKay's credit or you can get cash back. You can also dump your books in the free book pile, and then you can scavenge through one man's trash is another man's treasure. You can scavenge through all these books. So really any book that you could ever think of is probably at McKay's, and you could spend hours in there. And like I said, I know some people, like every Sunday, they go to McKay's. This is what they do. And what's cool about McKay's is it used to be on Kingston Pike in this building. It was small. Like, what is it? What is the building now? It's near where Holly's Corner. Holly's, which isn't even Holly's anymore. Basically, it used to be on Kingston Pike, okay, in the Bearden area, 37919. And we, in high school, we would go there because we had to read a certain book, right? So we would go to McKay's, get the book, and also buy the Cliff Notes. They had them. They also had a lot of, like sometimes in college, you try to get like a used book. But sometimes you could find the used book at McKay's for way cheaper than what you could find in the college bookstore. So McKay's, super cool. To me, if you are a collector of any sort, or if you like books of any kind, they also have, okay, so this is what it says. The original idea for the bookstore, originally the whole thing came about because the people that started it they didn't believe in like banned book lists. So they created this bookstore that now has, and I'm very much paraphrasing. So go to the McKay's website and read for yourself the history. But essentially they wanted to create a place where it was like, you could have access to any information. And that morphed into music, movies, electronics, games, musical instruments, collectibles, and more. So, like there's guitars there. They've got like Nintendo 64, Super Mario. No, you know what I mean? The original Nintendo. You can go there and get Game Boy games. Now, some of that stuff is probably more rare now than it used to be. And or if you go there, maybe people go there every day looking for a Game Boy. I don't know. But I'm just saying, certainly a place for collector stuff. If you are into nostalgia of any kind, you will probably be at McKay's for hours. And if you love the smell of books, you can get that there. So anyways, yeah, and if you have books you want to get rid of, you would take them there. I also want to point out that there's 3 Tennessee locations. Chattanooga, which you actually see on 75, headed south towards Atlanta. You can see the McKay's. It's like by the Land Rover. If you've been driven to Chattanooga, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's one in Nashville, and then there's 2 in North Carolina. So McKay's, certainly a free, until you start shopping, free thing to do in Knoxville. So those are some of my recommendations for some of the unique, cool things you could do year round in the Knoxville area. I hesitate to even post this video because when you finish and you're like, oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't say that. I should have included this. And there was some other stuff that came to mind, but I was like, you know what? We're going to stop it here. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what I've missed, obviously. And as always, if you would like more content like this, please click subscribe because I love talking to you about all things East Tennessee and the Knoxville area. I'm Haley Jones, and I'll see you on the next video.